Hi. Hi, Dallas. All right. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I know I need to breathe. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Let's see who else joins. All right. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a few more people joining us. If not, I will talk to you guys. Now I wanted to come on here and, you know, offer a platform to talk about myself and, just open up and share some of my personal story, or if you guys wanted to hear about even my writing. Yeah, me too, Dallas. Thank you. I'm definitely really excited that this book is coming out finally. I know that we've been talking about it for a long time. I've been talking about it with you. Yes, so thank you, baby, for your question. Yes, so in talking about my book, with the title of my book, some of you may know, some of you may not, but my book was actually titled something else when it was my master's thesis. It was actually titled Hallowed Be Thy Fall. And I was really connected to that title, but in the novelization of my story, the title had to change, right? The story evolved, as have I. Now, the new title is Falling into Fire. And the way that it relates to my story, fire is a symbol of transmutation, of transformation. And this story really is all about that. So how my character is changing through the element of fire. Now, there actually is the physical element of fire in the story, particularly with one of the main characters that comes out as an opposite of my main character. So the falling into fire really is my protagonist, Priella, falling into herself and through the fires of transformation coming out brand new. So hope that answers that question. It really is crazy that I'm finally writing this. Like I said, I know it's been a long time coming. Hi. Nice to have you guys on here. So yeah, like I said, it's been an honor writing this book, and it's amazing to see how my story has changed, how I have changed in writing it. It's amazing because how much of the book is real life as opposed to fiction. So it's a really good question. Thank you. The book is fictionalized. However, it is me. So the main character's thoughts are my own. It is sort of like me taking on this character, taking on this role. Hi, you guys. And putting myself into this environment and exploring the depths of my experience, my soul, while being in this setting. So there are a lot of parts that are fictionalized. So what would be fictionalized would be the characters themselves. So, for example, the male interests that my main character interacts with, those characters don't represent any one person in my real life. They're kind of like an embodiment of a group of people, right? Same with the main character's main best friend, her advisor. It's not exactly one person from my life. Exactly. So facets of my soul. So the different pieces of my soul are being manifest through the characters of this story. And I wanted it to be fictionalized because I knew that this was going to be the best opportunity for me to explore myself, as opposed to, let's say, just writing memoir. I felt like the memoir approach would have trying to recollect the details and keeping true to those events would have taken away from getting to the nitty gritty of who I was and what I needed to get from those experiences. And even though it's a fictionalized setting, it exposed all of my truth. So it is fictional, however, you are experiencing me and the depths of my emotion, my thoughts, my worldview, and through this, people can experience it. So do I envision another book or a series? Yes. So I used to not. I know some of you, those of you who know me more closely, know that it's been difficult for me to expand the story in the first place. However, as I've written it and gone deeper into myself, I've gotten the chance to really see where to go from here. So this story kind of explores, yes, thank you, Dallas. This story kind of explores kind of between like the thoughts that I've had from adolescence into my younger adult years. So it's kind of more recent. However, I can envision this kind of expanding to go even deeper into my subconscious, deeper into my psyche, and even further into the past, and how those deeper experiences and deeper awarenesses of life can come out through the work. So I think the next one, we'll see. I'm open-minded to see how it develops. But I definitely think there's more to be explored, particularly with one of the characters in this story. So I see myself in the next one working more closely with her. And then there might even be another book related to, because I'm really connected to the writing process itself. So how this book has transformed from how I wrote it for my fiction class, my master's thesis, and now as a novel. So, and nonfiction is actually my first mode of writing. So I want to dive into maybe a nonfiction version of how this story was written and how I evolved through this writing process and attempting a great feat of writing something so personal by placing myself in this Renaissance painting. What emotions can you expect as you read the book? Good question. So I definitely think, like with any art, the experience might be subjective based on the person's experience with these themes. However, because it has a lot to do with identity, with relationships, some of the emotions that might come up are emotions related to self-esteem, doubt, curiosity, questions. However, there is a lot of fear. There may be a lot of sadness. There may be excitement. So as I was writing this book, the range of emotions I experienced were vast. There were many moments of bliss and euphoria, but then could easily be followed by defeat and followed by this self-doubt, like, what did I just do? So because sometimes we'll experience something and be in the moment, and then those thoughts might creep in and make you question things. So there are a lot of questions. And as we go through the book and we are confronted with the main character's life and her experiences and the truth of her experiences, sometimes that can bring up fear and wondering how, I guess just its full exposure, right? So sometimes when we are exposed to our true selves, that could bring up a lot of questions and a lot of doubt. But soon as you overcome it, there are feelings of pride and feelings of triumph. So that's where it's going. And I hope that as people experience this, they can look at themselves and really allow themselves to feel whatever emotion comes up and know that it's valid and it's beautiful to feel all these things. I hope that answers that question. All right, see here another question. So there's a main character go through a healing process. When she gets towards the end, you see her turn into something positive. There's definitely a healing process. There's definitely an alchemical process that can be seen internally, but it's also very physical. And there is a merging of selves as the main character confronts herself. And yes, it's definitely something positive. That's the goal. As a person, I've always been one to really aim for that positive outcome and see how is the main character, how am I overcoming whatever it is that I'm going through. So in this story, there's definitely something positive. Okay? How is the experience of developing the different characters? So this is something that has definitely shifted over time. A lot of the characters, I thought they were one way at first. And as I've gotten to know more of my story and writing more of my story, they've evolved. And this is kind of part of why I want to talk about the writing process. But for example, one of the characters, the angel. So in my story, I have the Archangel Michael serving as my main character, Priya's guide. And that character has gone through a great evolution. The main character was that character was very different in my first version. And I realized that that was saying something about my main character, right? And how I perceived my main character to be, how I perceived myself to be, and what this story was providing for me. So that experience has been very gratifying because I've gotten to know just how deep some of my experiences have been and how it's actually influenced my perception of myself and in turn my perception of my characters. And as I've allowed my story to show itself more to me, you know, these characters have taken a life on its own. Even my main character, Priya, who's the one that I resonate the most as she's essentially my heart. But she's shown me so much by just being and allowing herself to explore this scene, this setting. And so this experience, it's been something that I hadn't really experienced before, despite how much I've written. You know, this story has taught me a lot about characters and people and how they evolve and change. So that's been more than just a writing lesson. It's been kind of a life lesson into people and how they evolve. So it's been a great experience. Very good. I think it paused there for a second. Hopefully you guys can see me. But yeah, honestly, you guys, like this book, it's really been something else. You know, I really yes, there really is so much growth and vulnerability and truth. And, you know, this book has really put me in a vulnerable place because I thought I was in a vulnerable place before with the actual experiences themselves. But there were a lot of things that I know that I didn't want to confront before. And it's funny because working with my editor, you know, a lot of scenes would come up and I couldn't even talk about it. You know, this happened to me when I wrote my thesis too. But in really confronting it and being vulnerable and allowing myself to see that truth, it's been a very impressive experience, and I'm really excited. Are you planning a signing event for here in Miami? And if you are, when? Yes. Definitely, I do plan a signing event. So my book comes out December 21st. I know that I want an event around that time. I'm hoping for everyone who's getting their pre-orders to have received their book by that time. But I also would like to give the opportunity for, once the book releases, people can order it then. And also at the event, I would like to offer maybe some printed books there that people can purchase. So I think we're thinking maybe something, maybe early January. And, people can come. I'll do a reading and, share a little bit about myself. And allow people to bring their books in order to be signed. So that's definitely going to happen for sure here in Miami. And we'll see how that develops. But so where can we make pre-orders? Yes, so right now pre-orders are available on barnesandnoble.com. So you can acquire a pre-order by searching for the title of my book, Falling Into Fire, or searching my name. And you can order it there. We have several versions available for you. We have the hardcover version, paperback, and a pocketbook. And I think also Nook books are currently available too. So there's definitely different versions available. And more opportunities for purchase will be available later on. But right now, all pre-orders are being made through Barnes & Noble. So thank you for that. And I could definitely, I think, at some point, maybe when I upload this video, offer the link to that directly. But it's also at the link in my bio. You can click it and order it directly from there. It'll take you to that Barnes & Noble page. Any more questions? I like this. Feels good. Really appreciate you guys asking questions too. There's a lot I want to talk about. I really do. I want to share. So is writing a passion of mine, and how long have I wanted to publish a book? Yes. Writing is definitely a passion of mine. It's my medium for communication, the way that I express myself the best. And when I write, something magical happens and my insides are exposed, and I truly love that process. I've always shared myself through writing, even when I was a teenager and I was going through a lot of the things that were part of my true growing up. A lot of even the sad experiences that I went through. Anytime I went through anything, writing was my outlet. And I used to write a lot of poetry. I still write a lot of poetry. I love poetry. And as I grew up, I started to explore more of my writing skills in different genres of writing. And even in college. And it's always been something that's been a part of my life. But the publishing a book part, when I was deciding after college where to take my graduate education, I knew I wanted to help people, particularly those that have experienced similar things that I have, particularly in the realm of maybe struggles with identity, struggles with relationships, struggles with abuse, both physical, emotional, sexual. And when I was exploring how I can do that, I explored many options. And the conclusion I came to was, as someone who's read a lot of books, there's something magical in someone transforming through reading. So I wanted to, I decided right then and there, I can provide that experience by allowing people to see me and my story and give them a safe space to transform themselves and allow themselves to grow. So I knew that writing was an opportunity for me to maybe share some of my experiences and allow people that opportunity. So I would say, yeah, since college, I knew that publishing a book was what I needed to do, and then as I got my master's in writing, what that book was going to be about and how I was going to share this content, that evolved. I initially thought it was going to be nonfiction, but in writing this story, first for my fiction class, like I mentioned, and then for my master's thesis, I knew there was a special opportunity writing in this format, me responding to another work of art and applying it to myself. I knew that was the perfect place to start in my book writing journey. So I hope that when people read my book, they really allow themselves to see this particular point of view. It is first person. So allowing yourself to experience this character's life and this character's experience, and just let that get into your heart and let it do what it will. Everyone's going to have a different reaction. Everyone's going to have a different experience based on their own life and everything that they've gone through. But it is my hope to give them that opportunity in the privacy of their own reading, the privacy of their own mind as they're experiencing this book, to, grow in whichever direction, whether to strengthen the resolve they already have or to really go through the changes. They'll go through it with my main character. So yeah, publishing a book, it's something I wanted to do for a long time. I know I kind of veered off, but yeah, it's something I wanted to do. Okay, I see another question. Is there one particular goal or takeaway that you would like your readers to walk away with after reading the book? So one particular goal or takeaway. Well, maybe that life is not always so straightforward and black and white. Sometimes we may have our opinions about something, about a particular experience or particular ideal, particular beliefs that we carry. But when life happens to you, sometimes that perspective can change. And the experiences we go through, they alter our experience of human life. And I hope that by my readers experiencing the story in first person, they can experience what it's like to maybe not have such nice experiences, to go through strife, and to maybe understand a little bit more what it's like to be in the mind of someone who's gone through those experiences and how that can warp your experience of being a human. But that at the end of the day, you can overcome anything as long as you're willing to confront the truth that's in your heart, the truth that's in your experience, and not be afraid to let yourself grow and change. No matter what it is you've done in the past, you can overcome it. So yeah, that's definitely something I hope that people will allow themselves to experience from reading this book, male or female. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Will I be starting my morning pages again? Oh, I know you know that. Yeah, that's something that I've been wanting to get back into. I kind of disconnected from my morning pages for a while just with my schedule. But my morning pages really serve as my connection to self, my connection to everything, to God, to my guides, to everything inside of me. And that's my centering point. And yeah, I kind of miss that. I kind of miss allowing myself to expose myself in the morning pages and to see what messages come up. So I really want to start that up again. So I would say yes. I'm going to hold myself accountable and say yes, I will be starting my morning pages again, and I plan on sharing those messages with all of you guys so that you can experience and apply to self and sharing that experience with me. So yes. Do you guys have any more questions? Anything you would like me to share, whether about my book or just about myself that you would like to get to know? Hi, Michael. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. That is really something that I've been missing. So looking forward to getting back into that habit and writing every morning, as that's really my golden time. What am I doing now? Well, other than sitting by the pool, right now I am currently teaching. Hi, Michael, again. Thank you. Right now I am currently working as a teacher, as a tutor. You know, I love to help people strengthen their writing skills. So I've dedicated my time to working with students and anybody who is interested in growing their writing skills. So yeah, currently I'm teaching English. That's what I'm currently doing, and just focusing. Hi. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. Definitely still in the writing field, as a lot of the students that I help, whether it's English students in high school, even the elementary students, I help with reading. So, you know, it keeps me connected to that industry, and I love it. I love being able to teach my fellow people how to write and to explore themselves through reading, through writing. So I would say that that's what I'm currently doing right now. But yeah. Any other questions you guys have? I know a few of you just hopped on. I'm just sharing. We've shared a little bit about my book that's coming out. I've also been sharing a little bit about myself. If you guys have any questions you would like to, throw at me, I really wanted to take this opportunity to just talk to you guys and, share a little bit about myself. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate you saying that. That was my goal, and the fact that you were able to enjoy that really means a lot to me. It's always been my goal to just, share my love of writing with you guys. And, hopefully if you guys incorporate that into your lives, to whatever capacity, definitely, goal achieved. So thank you. I really appreciate you saying that, Michael. And yes, so the book, hi, David. So my book is Falling into Fire. It's actually the book that I'm currently writing. It's on pre-order. It's my first novel that I'm releasing. It's on pre-order, available now, and it's releasing in December 21st. So, Falling into Fire is the novelization of my master's thesis. So I know I've mentioned my master's thesis in the past. This is a more extensive, deeper look at that same story. So if you know a little bit about my story, it's that one. If you aren't familiar with it, Falling into Fire is a fictionalization of a lot of my experiences growing up. It's a question and investigation of identity and questions about life, right? So these questions that we have when we are met with certain experiences, a lot of the experiences in the book are related to, like I said, identity, self-esteem. There's relationships, both romantic and friendship. Thank you, David. I can't wait for you guys to read it. There's friendship, there's romantic relationships, and it's just investigating how we travel in this world, right? So even though it's a fictional setting, it takes place, the setting was inspired by Hieronymus Bosch's The Garden of Earthly Delights. These experiences come from my heart, right? So even though it's a fictionalized character, all of the characters are fictional, my main character is my heart, and putting myself in this character, sort of like an avatar, right? I've put myself in this setting and I'm exploring my past, I'm exploring my insights. And it's amazing the things that kind of come up when there's a certain setting around and you're manipulating it. So it's kind of like an allegory to our real life, right? We have these laws, these rules, these standards. But what I'm coming to realize is these limitations that are set by our environment, that are set by our society, by our cultures, by our upbringing, they're really just limitations in here, and they're strong, but our insights are limitless if we allow ourselves to confront that truth and to let ourselves be free. And yes, thank you, Dallas. I would love to see this as a film. I think that it would be an amazing visual to explore. Definitely intense, as you guys will read in my story. There's a lot of intense visuals there, but I would love to see this in the film medium. Definitely Netflix would be awesome. With the themes of my story, could be HBO, it could be independent film as well. There's definitely a lot. All right, so you can't wait to read it, especially being in Tennessee. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. I really do hope you get to pick it up, and I'm excited for you to read that story too. I know you got to experience me, Michael, as a teacher, and you got to know a little bit about my writing, a little bit about my thought processes. So this will definitely give you a deeper look into me and my personality, and I'm excited for you to read that. And yes, imagery in your book is ideal for a TV series. I agree. Definitely, it could be film or TV series, as I definitely think there could be, I could also see like even a mini series. Sometimes these series come in 3 parts. There are definitely sections in the book that kind of could be experienced like little episodes, certain moments in the character's life. So that's something that could be experienced both in film or in a TV show. I definitely think a series or just straight film could provide different experiences, but both very able to explore that imagery to give a true visual of what this character is going through, right? So to bring to life, some of those images and some of those scenes from my book, and definitely appeal to those that enjoy the visual medium beyond what's on the page. So I definitely think it could add a certain layer, and just let it bounce off the page. So yes, I agree. I definitely think we'll see as the book evolves, as the story evolves, and just the response to the story. I definitely think there's opportunities for growth and how it can be expanded into different mediums. So yes. Thank you, Dallas. I love you too. I'm really excited that you guys were able to join me. So thank you for being here. Definitely going to stay in touch with all of you. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Michael. I agree. I definitely, I guess, like I said, we'll see how people respond, and we'll see how those in film production, how we can turn this into like a movie or a TV show. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing the story. That really means a lot to me. This is something that's really personal to me, and I really am excited for you guys to experience it, those that know me, to the different degrees that you know me, and just to share with your peers, your family. We're being brave with the story. So, like even Dallas has told me, even other people have told me, my editor, let's go big or go home, right? So we're doing this. He did an amazing job, and this book will inspire many people. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that, babe. You know, you of all people know that this has been an intense journey, and I really hope that, you know, all the things that I've been through can serve to help other people. So, you know, I really appreciate you guys being on here with me and taking the time to spend some time with me. And yeah, let me share myself with you, both some of my personal experiences and regarding my book, which is basically as personal as it's gonna get. So I really appreciate you guys being here. If you guys have any more questions, feel free. I know I posted on my story that you guys can ask me anything. I definitely want to keep answering questions. I can answer it in different forms. I'll definitely be hopping on to more lives and sharing in different ways, more videos, more story posts, more regular posts. So if you have any specific questions that you come up with beyond what was talked about in the story, feel free to shoot those questions my way, and I will be responding to all your questions and all your messages. So I look forward to seeing you guys again very soon. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'll talk to you guys later.